Hey y'all, this is where DJ goes. And y'all, on this adventure, we're off to the UP. We'll head up to see some more shores of Lake Superior, but this time for Michigan, to where the most fresh water on Earth creates a peninsula called the Keweenaw. It's the northernmost part of Michigan's UP, and I'm bringing y'all to the very tip of it. And we're doing it in the fall, through the Porcupine Mountains, to see another Lake Superior lighthouse. And on the way back, we'll make a stop at the Quincy Mine in the area where America's first copper boom took place. So if you want to nerd out on some U.S. history or see some beautiful fall foliage, this is where DJ goes. It was just an overnight trip to Michigan, but I made sure to take all day doing it. And some of those old logging roads proved to be the best place to stop and get lost in the woods. For miles, all you could see were trees in every shade you could imagine. It was more than I expected. And if you get the chance, don't let those pure Michigan spoofs scare you off. We listened to them on the drive, though, and did get some pretty good laughs. It was a couple hours' drive from the Northwoods, but it wasn't all forest. We did pass through Houghton and over their lift bridge. And fun fact, y'all, Houghton is the birthplace of professional hockey and has the seventh oldest indoor ice rink in the world. And it's just the most charming little town built up on both sides of the mountain along the canal. But it still didn't prepare me for what we saw once we were headed into Fort Wilkins, though. Especially headed down the 7-mile trek getting to the edge of the peninsula. Those last few miles seem more like trails. There was a couple down there living their best van life, though, so 4x4 isn't necessarily required, but you definitely need clearance and experience. It's listed on iOverlander, along with at least a dozen or so more in the area. But y'all, this was one of my favorite spots on our big lake yet. Don't come for me, Northwoods, you'll always have my heart, but Copper Harbor just has something about it. Maybe it was the agate and quartz that seemed to be everywhere on the beach. Because, y'all, this right here is a slice of heaven on earth. And according to several of the signed rocks, I'm not the only Texan to make this trip. Well, the ore boats just sit out and wait for Monday. But after an hour or so of rock hounding, I was pretty weighed down, and I'd almost forgotten that we're actually here to see the lighthouse, making number 5 on my Lake Superior lighthouses list. The first lighthouse was built in 1848, as this was said to be one of the most important parts of Lake Superior at the time. Unfortunately, it came about 4 years too late for the John Jacob Astor, which is one of Lake Superior's most historic wrecks. But, bonus fun fact, John Jacob Astor was the first U.S. multimillionaire businessman, and one of the pair of lions that's in front of the New York Public Library was originally named after him. But IDK if it was patience or fortitude. Anyway, the current tower was lit in 1866, but isn't operational. The light itself was put on the 62-foot tall white tower there and has a range of 14 nautical miles, though. They do offer tours, but we didn't make it there after the hour plus it took to get down the trail earlier. But I had spotted another spot that I knew I had to check out before the weather turned on us. So we left Fort Wilkins State Park, headed back towards Hancock, 'cause this is where DJ goes. And I was going to that old ghost town, y'all. Turns out this ghost town is the remains of what was America's first copper boom and the Quincy Mine. Even though this mine was one of the more profitable at the time, many were not faring as well. The effects of one industry towns, depleting natural resources, and a failing economy are still felt in the air here. So after I'd spooked myself enough, there was no way I was going down in a mine shaft in 2020. I did go walk the property and gave myself a tour of my own, though, and learned that the Quincy Mine actually has the world's largest steam-powered hoist engine. Also worth mentioning, the foundation for this building set an engineering record for the largest reinforced concrete poured. And I'd much rather be learning that useless info than being 92 levels down. Plus, they still had a couple of the old trains and carts, and a miner's house staged as how it would have been at the time. It wasn't quite the ghost town that I thought I had found, but just like the rest of my time in the UP, it beat my expectations. But here came the rain, so we were off to find a fishing hole. Thank y'all for joining on another journey of Where DJ Goes. Make sure to hit subscribe. Next time we're headed cross country. 6 states, 4 days, 2 Texans on an adventure with 2 pups in a 23-foot schoolie. Till next time, bye y'all.